Studies find the unemployment rate for military spouses is nearly 4 times higher than the national average, sitting at an average of 24%. This is due in large part to the unique challenges and frequent moves that military families face, which can make it difficult for spouses to establish and maintain careers that they want. Chris Newsome with Recruit Military is joining us this morning with what could be solutions. Chris, thank you for coming on. It's also Military Spouse Appreciation Day, so very fitting for this segment.
It is. Thank you, Vic, for having me today.
Yeah, so we have so many viewers in our area that are connected to the military. We know that our servicemen and women make those sacrifices, but their spouses do as well. What are some of the biggest challenges when it comes to them finding a career that they love?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably that is the question. So it's really the primary contributing trouble that they have is that they frequently have to move. You know, a duty station can be a matter of a 2-year stint. So if you can imagine, the spouse has to essentially change jobs every 24 months, if not more often than that. And then consider the men and women that have to transition overseas, you know, going to the Pacific, going to Europe, where there's anywhere from a 6 to 11-hour time difference. It's hard to maintain consistent employment if you don't have a remote work opportunity in a lot of those scenarios. So frequent moving tends to be one of the biggest problems that the spouse community faces.
Let's talk about the resources. What does your organization, Recruit Military, offer these military spouses?
So we are a full-service recruiting firm for the military community. So while we also serve their service member counterparts that are in uniform, we absolutely consider the military spouse to be kind of the backbone of the military family unit. So we have everything from direct placement services to career fairs, both in person and virtual. We come to Jacksonville a couple times a year. We've got a national virtual hiring event coming up at the end of the month on the 23rd. And we also have a database that is filled with hundreds of thousands of open opportunities that any spouse can source for and apply to today in real time.
So obviously we talk about these career fairs, and we've had you on the show before talking about that, your organization. But right now, if somebody's really motivated this morning, they can go on and find some job opportunities?
100%. Go to RecruitMilitary.com. We're going to ask you for, create your professional profile, share your resume with us, and essentially announce your availability to corporate America. We work with thousands and thousands of employers all across the country and even across the world, tens of thousands of remote work opportunities. So truly, regardless of what you might be looking for, what your background is, there's going to be a pretty healthy amount of representation of those work opportunities within the ecosystem.
And Chris, I want to quickly pivot and talk about this topic. Last April, the veteran unemployment rate was down 3% from the previous year. So things appear to be moving in the right direction. What are some of the biggest struggles for veterans looking for a job?
You know, they're kind of age-old problems. A lot of it is articulating what they've done and truly translating that over to civilian terminology. As you may know, we tend to talk in acronyms. The military has its own language. We're also used to operating in a team sort of environment. So we talk in terms of we. What did the collective do? What did we accomplish? And when you make that transition, you really have to champion for yourself. So, it tends to be a gap in translation, but where we try to, streamline things, we work directly with those employers to make sure that they are just as equally educated and prepared for that interaction so that when the two parties meet in the middle, it's meaningful.
All right, Chris Newsome, thank you so much for coming on. The website right there on the bottom of your screen, RecruitMilitary.com. That'll help you get the job opportunities now and maybe sign up for some future career fairs. Okay, all day long, we are honoring our military spouses here on Channel 4. We know there's so many of you watching. If you are active duty or a veteran and have a husband or wife who sacrificed with you during your time in the service, please help us welcome them and thank them. Share their photo on Snapjacks. Just look for the Military Spouse Appreciation Day channel under Events. Here's one we've received so far this morning. Danny sent us a picture of his wife, Cheryl. She is married to a Navy veteran. We want to thank you both for all you do, Cheryl and Danny.